Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri, and is the world's first single barrel only liquor store. This business is owned and operated by Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to sign up for their email and text distribution list. That way you'll know what they have in stock, what classes are coming up, and what barrel picks they have in the works. We are also sponsored by The Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers a fully customizable carrying case that allows you to take your favorite distilled spirits or cocktail ingredients with you. Whether you're looking for yourself, a customized gift, or logo items for your business or event, The Bar to Go can help. Check them out at thebar2go.com. Use the number 2 when you type out The Bar to Go. Did you know Neely Family Distillery now ships its popular distilled spirits directly to you? To order, simply call 859-394-3258. Tell them the ABV Network sent you. And now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we get an update on Hidden Barn from Nate Weiniger. My name is McNew. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Steve Akeley, along with our special guests, Nate Weiniger, Lenny Eckstein, and Kathy Cool.
Hey, gang, what's up?
Hey, guys.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey, so yeah, we're going to be have some fun today because we're going to find out what's going on with Hidden Barn and how things are going now that, we're 3 or 4 months into this thing. Should be fun to get an update and see if Nate is living all of his dreams or he's living a nightmare. I don't know. We'll see. We didn't pre-ask any questions, so we'll see how it's going. But before we get to that, Kathy, you said there's something you want to talk about. What is that?
Yeah. So would you rather? It's a would you rather.
Okay.
Would you rather walk in on your parents or have your parents walk in on you?
I hate this question.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah, that's bad, right?
You know what? Me. Traumatize them, not traumatize me. They can walk in. I don't want to see that.
I think McNew's right.
They traumatize them, not yourself.
I think McNew's right. There you go. I don't want to see my parents. Obviously, my dad's been gone for 10 years, but I wouldn't want to see them have. As far as I know, they didn't have sex. So other than I had me and my sister, but and I was only 2 or so when she was born. So I think they quit having sex after that. I think they were just done with that. So as far as I know, they were done before I had any recognition even what that was. So
did you ever see your parents accidentally naked?
Yes. Yeah, both of them actually at one time or another. Never together. Never anything like you're talking about. Just random. We had a 1,000 square foot house. We had a very small house growing up, and so yeah, that's. Unfortunately, that kind of stuff happens. So yeah, mostly my mom, like when she was like nursing my sister and stuff like that. It'd be like, "Don't go in there," and I was like, what the hell? And then my dad barely wore clothes anyway. He wears underwear all the time when he's walking around. My dad didn't give a shit. He's 70s dad. He didn't care. So, yeah. What about you, Lenny?
Lenny hates this.
I think McNew's on the right track, but I was just thinking about something Kathy just said. You used the word accidentally appropriately, in my estimation, because that would certainly be an accident to walk in on your parents.
Right.
In any manner that's been discussed. I had somebody recently use the term accidentally. They were representing someone else, and the way they said it was, again, this person representing someone else. I accidentally walked into a swingers party.
Oh.
Is that
how's that happen? Right.
You just put that word in to make it sound better.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. What about you, Nate?
Yeah, that's man. I think my dad actually supposedly walked on me once with one of my girlfriends during lunch. I came home from school, and this is I'll tell you this quick story. I'll probably, who knows how this will play out, but long story short, he left apparently right away and just left, right? So I didn't even know.
Never
But,
came back again.
Yeah, but he. So that night, in my room, I always I had a bat because I played baseball. I had a bat that was always next to my bed.
Sure.
And there was a condom taped to the bat, and it said, "I notice you keep a bat next to your bed for protection, and that may one day save your life. This may too one day save your life." And that was it. We never talked about it, and that is. So I'm pretty sure it was based on that incident. But yeah, that's my story on it. I definitely don't want to walk in on my parents, especially now.
No one wants to see the parents. Yeah, Kathy, you asked the question, though. Who knows? Kathy may get weird here.
No, I'm not going to get weird. I don't need to see that.
No.
No.
Your parents, it's
No. My sister walked in on me once.
Huh. How'd that go? How'd that
She went, "Oh my God," and ran out the door.
Okay. Yeah.
Not the right.
There you go.
Right.
Well, guess what? On that note, it's time to drink. What is everyone drinking? Let's start with Kathy, the lady who asked the question.
I'm going to start with some Yellowstone.
Okay. Macy and Sloshy. Nate's not participating. He's in the car. He's pulled over for the show, but still, we're not going to have him drinking in the car, and I don't think he has anything anyway. So, but
I do not.
Not an option. All right. How about you, Lenny? You look like you're ready to go. What do you got?
Who's ready? I've got a bottle of Leopold Brothers bottled and bond bourbon.
Okay. Okay, that's the lead. I mean, it's not great, but it's better than what Kathy threw out there. What do you got, McNew?
So I don't have a cork pop, but I have some old Overholt rye. It's a twist off.
Old Overholt. Okay. I've got Elmer Teely. I mean, that was enough for victory, I think. It was sad. Sad, but it was enough for victory.
I actually think I beat two people without even opening a bottle. So.
Good job.
I think I finished in third place. I feel pretty good.
Cheers. I don't know where Nate's at, but I swear there's the sound of crickets there.
There is. I'm outside. I'm sitting outside here. So.
Okay. All right. Well, guess what, gang? We'll take a quick break. And then when we come back, we're going to be getting an update on Hidden Barn with one of the owners here, Nate. We'll do that in just a few. Let's talk about the people who make these shows happen. First up is the ABV Barrel Shop. It is the most unique shopping experience in the world of bourbon, as the ABV Barrel Shop only sells single barrels. Owners Steve Akeley and Jim Fosnot select. With over 100 distilleries on board to sell us barrels, we are home to the most unique and diverse barrel pick selections in the bourbon world. By signing up for our email, you will always know what we have in stock. In addition to the single barrels, we'll have a gift shop featuring ABV Barrel Shop as well as ABV Network merchandise. We are partnering with vendors like Art Eatables and Old Man Bay Signs to bring you unique items you can't find anywhere else. We will also have a 24-seat classroom where we are offering educational and fun classes like Breakfast and Bourbon, a series where we pair donuts and bourbon, customer barrel picks, and opportunities to learn from master distillers and other bourbon dignitaries. Best of all, we feature a tasting bar where you can try before you buy. All of this is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri. If you are in the St. Louis area, please stop by to say hi. If you're traveling in from outside the area, please take advantage of our hotel rates with the Drury Inn and Pear Tree Inn, less than a mile from our shop. This can be done via the links in our Visit St. Louis section on our website. Head over to abvbarrelshop.com to plan your trip. The ABV Barrel Shop. It's where single barrels live. Hi, this is Steve Akeley, owner of the ABV Network. We're sponsored by the Stave and Thief Society. This is where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge a bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my Executive Bourbon Steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification program available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Okay, let's talk about the Neely Family Distillery. In 2018, I met Royce Neely at an industry event. He started appearing on our shows and we became friends during my frequent trips to Kentucky. Today, he is amongst the leaders of young distillers leaving their mark on the bourbon industry. A visit to Neely Family Distillery yields insight on their unique family history, why their products are special, and gives you the opportunity to taste their whiskey, moonshine, and creams. Check them out at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com or visit them in Sparta, Kentucky.
This is Mr. Bill. You're listening to the Bourbon Daily. I don't drink to that.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today we're getting an update from Nate on Hidden Barn.
Yeah, Nate. So we are, like I said, 3 or 4 months into this thing now. What do you feel about the thing? I mean, it's such a big change going from what you were doing, working for government and whatever you did. You never talked about it, and that's okay. But to being a company owner and having a brand and going from a bourbon fan to in the industry, what's it like?
Yeah, it's been a big change, honestly. Full transparency, I have significant more respect for the other side of the business. I think with 5280 whiskey, you're doing things, you're promoting all brands, you're launching things, you're partnering with different brands, but you're on the other side of it. You're on the entertainment side, enjoying it, and there's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and just seeing what distilleries and brands and brand ambassadors, what they go through, and some of the rigors of that is some of the challenges and all of that. I just have significant more respect for what they do and bringing such good products to the market, all of these different brands, and just what they have to do to get there. So right. I think that's been lesson one. I will say that my life is significantly less stressful than it was with my previous endeavors. So that's nice. It's just a different kind of stress, right? But it's not if Hidden Barn were to end tomorrow, I would be fine. Like hopefully that doesn't happen, but the consequences are a lot less than what I was doing before. If things didn't go well, and I just think that. It's been a great experience too. I mean, it's been fun. It's a dream come true to be able to have a brand and be a part of a brand and work with some great people that are doing great things, and to be able to join up with them. So that's been just tremendous. But I mean, it's there's some things that I'm having to get used to that I wasn't used to, that I didn't see before. You get comments on the internet and trolls and all that stuff. Actually, Royce Neely kind of helped me with that a little bit, because I wasn't used to kind of seeing that. You don't see that with a little bit with a whiskey club, but not like when you have a brand and you have to have kind of a thick skin and remember that it's okay if certain people don't like certain pours or products, that's okay. Not everybody has the same taste and palate, and there's a lot of people that do like it, and those that don't like it, that's okay. And you want to keep striving to make a product that everybody will like. But that's one of the things I think at first I was taking it a little hard if I saw a bad review.
It's a process.
I'm way over it.
Yeah. Even Royce. I mean, I've known him forever, and it was they go back to the early days with him. It's crushing when that happens, because you're just trying to do your best. You're trying to put everything you've got into it, and you have put a lot into it, and to have people. And sometimes, nothing's even warranted. I never really think attacks are warranted. That's a key thing that we don't do at the ABV Network. We never slammed anybody. Maybe Danny with that tumbling dice, but that's more just because it's a joke. That's as nasty as we get. And we just like that soundbite of him when he drank that tumbling dice. But it's not really our thing.
I think it's for me, and that's the same thing. I think that's part of with 5280 Whiskey Society, which we still are involved in, still doing events and still promoting brands. It's we have a code of conduct where it's okay if you don't like a pour or a bottling or but we also are respectful about it and how we talk about that. And I get it. Like, people can say whatever they want. I mean, it's fine. And like I said, I'm over it now, because I think what really helped me the most was getting out in front of people at events and festivals and pouring. Because I'm a pretty good read of body language and whatnot, and you can tell if somebody's enjoying it or somebody's like, "Oh, that was good," and they're like spitting it out when they leave. But I think I started to see that there were a lot of people that are really enjoying it and do like it, and it gives you, that's what you want to do. I mean, you're out there to reach as many consumers and get out there in front of as many people and share that. And there's going to be people out there. There's plenty of whiskey drinkers to go around out there, that you're going to find the people that whiskey that you're bringing to the market is something that they enjoy and hits their palate right. And that's what you got to do. So that was one thing, I think. But like I said, kind of moved on from that. I think, the other side of it, there's a lot of risk, with whiskey. I mean, getting barrels, getting glass, getting juice like whiskey, getting all those things. And I think one of the bigger challenges we saw in the beginning was, when we originally scheduled our business plan, Jackie wasn't involved in that, right? And we had marks and what we were going to do. And when she came in at the very end, obviously that changed things up significantly. And that created, significant more, whether it was articles and news and things around that, and brought the brand to the forefront. Well, we had to figure out how do we, get more whiskey to be able to deal with the demand, and our supply was what it was in the beginning. So that's been a challenge. We worked through a lot of that to try and figure that out, because we want to get it out there to people. People want it, and we want to get it out there. And I know that there's a lot of people in states that haven't been able to get it yet. We've used Sealbach to try and get at least out there to 20 more states that maybe we're not in. We're currently working on getting into states like California, Florida. We were able to get into Missouri, so that was good. So we'll continue to grow, but again, it comes down to, what we have supply wise. And right now, yes, we have a new make program. Yes, we've been laying down whiskey. And once we get into our whiskey that we've been laying down, that'll help significantly. But we're trying to continue to figure out how do we, supply the demand right now. So that's another thing.
Yeah. What do you guys want to know? What's the team want to know here about Nate? Because I could talk to him forever, but
I mean, well, not so much as a want to know, but something I find really interesting about, the path that you guys have taken that's pretty unusual, and it took a second for it to click for me. Not a lot of brands get, like to some extent, hype out of the gates, but then drop a product immediately as well that's clamored for. Usually they get to hang in the wings for a while and, build up some expectations or general impressions. You guys hit it hard and quick. And I think that's pretty awesome, but must come with some challenges as well. And you kind of spoke to, critique that might not have been, the most well stated, but it's going to happen. And as you mentioned, there's plenty of whiskey drinkers who appreciate the craft, and there's the haters, and you got to deal with both sides. But unless you're a massive brand, you can work through that.
Yeah, and I think that's a good point. I mean, our first batch, Jackie had very little time to work with it, and it was also some of the original barrels, some of the older barrels that we had to work with. But I've really been excited about the releases that have come out. Batch 2 is definitely one thing about us, is that we're not trying to blend to a profile. We allow Jackie to do what she does best. We're giving her the canvas and the paint, and then let her take those barrels and create that blended or that batched product. I think as she gets used to the whiskey too, you got to remember now, Jackie came from where she was blending to a profile, and she had that taste down and what 1920 was supposed to be, and working with the same mash bill with all of those brands. But this was different for her too, to deal with double pot stilled and learn those flavors. And I think she's really getting a good grip on it now too, and kind of figuring out how to make the barrels work the best together. And I think there's the other part of this is with all the hype with Jackie. I think a lot of people thought our first release was going to taste like birthday bourbon, and
Right.
I was like, well, and I really think that. I think a lot of people are like, oh, Jackie, it's going to be like 1920, and it's a total different process. It's a total different whiskey. It's it's not column still. It's just a way different type of whiskey and how it's made. And so I think that for some people that maybe don't know the details or get into it deeper or have that understanding, they may have been disappointed as Old Forester fans, maybe just because it doesn't taste like Old Forester. And and that's something that that's it's expected, I guess. You would think that, but Jackie didn't leave Old Forester and steal a rickhouse with her, so
right.
we can bring that whiskey. And I think Royce's whiskey is very good. I think it's different, and and I think different is good. I think different is good in this market. We could have gone a route of MGP or Dickel or Heritage brand and sourced a bunch of barrels and put it up on the shelf with 30 other brands that are 5 or 6 year MGP. We could have done that. But that's not what we are about. That's not what we're trying to do. And that's okay. And we know that there's going to be some people that it doesn't work for their palate, but we also know, and we're seeing that there's a lot of people that are really enjoying it and are really enjoying the flavors it produces, the viscosity it produces. And that's what we're shooting for. And, we had our first limited edition that's coming out. We released some at the Kentucky Bourbon Festival, but the Madeira finish was well received, and that was something pretty exciting. And my favorite batch of all of them, batch 4, is getting ready to it just got shipped out today. So Kentucky should be seeing that, and then Colorado will be seeing it next week. And then it'll be out on Sealbach too, so it'll get out nationally, some there. But that one's an 8-barrel batch, and I think that's the best blend yet. So, and we'll just keep striving to get better and better and improving and listening to good constructive feedback and bringing a good product that hopefully people will enjoy and share.
Nice. McNew, anything you want to know?
I don't have questions, but I just did want to say, in the online forums, everybody's been like, it's not Old Forester. So that Nate realizes that, I think, is good, because you just got to get consumers to be like, it's Hidden Barn. Hidden Barn is what it is. Appreciate it for being different and unique. And I think once fans wrap their heads around it, those comments are going to go away in 6 months. Not forever.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And then here's the other thing. You got to remember, and I know Lenny, I appreciate you. I saw you back me on a site, or the brand on a site. I did. Yeah, you said.
I love fighting online.
You did, dude. I saw you in there, man. I saw you mixing it up because somebody had made the comment and you said, "Hey, this is double pot stilled whiskey. It's supposed to have some of those flavors." And I saw that, and I appreciate that, man. Just want you to know I did see that. But I think that, and I don't comment. I see a lot of stuff, or people bring it to me, and I stay out of it because, again, but
you can't win that. That shit never. People are looking for that fight, and there's no way there's no winner in an online fight. So you just got to stay out of it. Yeah.
I think the best one, I said this to you before, was there was a misinformation out there, right, when it had been released, and someone was saying it's only 2 years old, and I was like, oh my god, it's not 2 years old, it's 4 to 5 years old. And so that was the first time I did it, and I just haven't commented since. But and this will tell you everything you know, but you can't win, with those things. So I commented back and I said, hey, just let you know, it's actually 4 to 5 years of age. It's not 2 years old. And the person responded back and they're like, it's 2 years of old. I saw the press release. And I was like, I promise you, may not know who I am, but I promise you it's 4 to 5 years old. But they didn't believe me. So I don't know. What do you do?
Right.
But what do you do? So I just, now I look at it and, and here's the thing, constructive feedback is always good.
Sure.
I think it's good. And we're willing to hear anything about constructive feedback. So the other thing about it is I have to remember, there's a big whiskey community, right? And that's with podcasters, influencers and stuff. And overall, it's a very small percentage of the consumers of whiskey when you look at the numbers and data and whatnot. And it's important. It's an important group because that's what I'm part of. I've been with 5280 Whiskey, and we want to listen to those voices because it's people that have been drinking usually whiskey for a long time. But there's also a lot of influencers or people that have started podcasts just in the last year that are new to whiskey.
Right.
And, they're on there giving critiques and evaluating whiskey. And, I'm not saying that they don't have credentials to do that, but I don't know, but then there's also people on there that have been doing it for a long time. And so I really look at who are the people that I know, that I respect, that are going to be truthful, that are going to give a good critique, good or bad, and give good sound, feedback. And those are the people I listen to and look for. Yeah, anyway, I mean, long and short of it, though, it is fantastic. We have sold out everything that we've released. That is a problem, too. We're not able to keep whiskey on the shelf right now, so it's tough to grow that consumer base, right? So we've tried to do it with some of these festivals and stuff, and that's difficult, too, as well, a little bit, trying to get to these festivals. I've got one coming up next Saturday, and then again the following week. And so we're trying to get out and get some pours out to people so they can try it and get introduced to the brand that, aren't on Instagram or Facebook or Reddit or whatever. So, that is something that we're trying to focus on too. But it would be nice to be able to get it out there and have some people. It's also great that it's not a bad problem to have, but it'd be nice to get it out there and get it in front of some new consumers as well. So to grow. So,
Kathy, what do you want to know? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
With the challenge of doing these small batches and, fewer bottles per batch, how do you plan to be able to meet the demand?
Yeah. We've looked into, and we've always talked about that we would have different series from different distilleries. We'll always have Neely family. That's our base. That's our series 1. Small batch, that's always going to be there, and we'll have the the barrels to continue to put that product out. But we also have reached out to other distilleries and looked at doing some smaller series. That's something that you may see here pretty soon, just to increase our ability to get more whiskey out to people. But really, we are limited in that in some respect. Like, we're in 2 states, 3 now with Missouri, and we've worked on getting approved to get in California and Florida. But you also have to be able to supply those states, and those are big states. One or the other, a significant amount of whiskey consumed in those states. So we've talked about making bigger batches, but also Jackie, we've talked about, okay, what are the pros and cons of that? She likes some of the smaller batches because she can really let each kind of barrel speak and not mute. And, but also, we also realize that we're going to probably have to start making some bigger batches to be able to fill more markets without the quality going down and without the process going down. So, yeah, until we get more whiskey, it's tough to in some regards to expand, but we have a plan to increase each year, and then by the time we get into our new make, we're going to have a huge jump, and that's already been laid down. A lot of that new make has already been laid down. It's been aging, so it's when we get into that, at some point we'll be able to take that big jump and then really expand from that point. So
nice, very nice. Lenny, you were going to say something. Did you have a question?
Yeah, well, it was just a level of perspective, I suppose, that I was going to offer up. And I don't know how much, what I do might overlay to what you guys do. But, aside from the obvious benefit of the fact that you guys are moving everything you're bottling up and putting out there, something I find is like there's an evolution, batch to batch, year to year, ongoing. it's more about like finding one's mark. I tend to think, and the upside of the older batches not lingering is, you don't have to. For me, I never have to talk about what the next favorite one is. So as evolution goes on, they move on, and for those that are lucky enough to have, I guess the generational representation on their shelf, that's a cool thing. I think that's always been my take on what's so rad about craft, for however people define it. It's that you get to be along for the journey and see where these things evolve. So it's cool to see.
I appreciate that, Lenny, and I agree with you, man. It is a journey, and it's and that is one of the things why each one of these batches is going to be different. And those that have tasted batch 1, 2, 3, or the Madeira, they're going to see significant differences. There is some core profiles that you might see, but to be honest with you, each one is different. And batch 1 and 2 are way different. Batch 2 to me is pretty robust and is more of a high rye bourbon, like a bourbon drinker bourbon. And that's the fun thing about it is I think that each one is going to be unique, and we'll build on that one, and it's going to be fun to continue to put out different batches. And there's going to be, when people look back, there's going to be batches that were their favorite and batches that maybe weren't as well received, but that's okay. I think that's the fun of it. So I agree with you, man. It's taking it step by step, and we try and slow down. That's something that we all talk about. Is like, how can we slow down? But it's tough right now. Trying to do that at times, and we're learning. That's the other thing. We're all learning. Matt, who does our financial, he's our kind of financial lead and does all of that, and he's learning a lot of the process. He has an accounting background, but also commodities and oil and gas and all of those things. So, but it's definitely a different thing. So he's learning how to do things. It's a learning process. And honestly, I know you've been out there for about 3 to 4 months, but we've only have 2 months of sales. So again, like in this short amount of time, we're still very in the beginning infinite stage. So,
yeah. Well, there you go. There's a quick update on what's going on with Hidden Barn. We'll continue because Nate's a good friend of ours. We'll continue to check in and see how things are going. He's a regular on here, so we can just set aside one of these shows as we get together. We'll wrap this one up as we always do by talking about where people can find us. Kathy, we'll start with you. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram. I am KK Cask Strength.
All right. Nate, how about you?
You can find us on Instagram at hidden_barn. And you can also find me on Instagram at 5280 Whiskey. And then our website is hiddenbarnwhiskey.com.
All right. Lenny.
You can find me and the rest of Deerhammer on social media at Deerhammer, on the webs at deerhammer.com. We can also order all of our whiskey, including our bourbon, starting next week, finally. Shipped to your door. Took us a while.
Or come on the ABV Barrel Shop. People are liking it. You got the pork steak pick. People are loving that. Other than one guy who came in, he tried it, and then he admitted he doesn't like pork steaks. He said, "This is too much truth in advertising. This thing tastes like a pork steak. I hate pork steaks." Well, he didn't like it, but other than that, it's been good.
Good deal. Well, that's about it. Or come see us in Buena Vista, Colorado.
All right, McNew, how about you?
I am on Instagram at McNew ABV.
All right, for me, I'm an easy guy to find. I'm at Steve Akeley on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. I've got a website, steveakeley.com. The important website, though, is abvnetwork.com. Check it out because everything that we do is out there. We put all of our previous shows out there. We're well over 3,000 already. We put our blogs out there. We have our shop out there. So much more, abvnetwork.com. And come by and see us. St. Louis, Missouri. We've got the ABV Barrel Shop. At least sign up for our email distribution. You'll know what we have in stock over at abvbarrelshop.com. McNew, anything else to say before we get out of here?
I would like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review. That includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. And if you like what we're doing, we ask that you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
All right, great job today, gang. For audience, we'll have a brand new show for you tomorrow. Looking forward to that. Until then, take care, everybody. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
See you guys.
Peace. Before we finish the show, let's talk about some great companies that support the ABV network. First up is Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro has a full line of products to help the home distiller. Whether you want to experiment on the stove in your kitchen or you're looking for a bigger setup in your backyard, owner Russell Creed and his team can help. They have multiple still offerings, accessories, and even grain from their partners at Goldstone Mill to assist you in making whiskey on par with your favorite distillery. They can also help you with some fabricated parts you probably can't make yourself if you are attempting a DIY still project. Learn more or order your still or parts at moonshinestillpro.com. Another friend of ours is the Goldstein family at Goldstone Mill. The Goldsteins offer a variety of heritage and heirloom grains to make the finest whiskeys in the world. Plus, they are more than just a grain company. They are truly consultants to make sure the grains they are providing to you or your business meet your highest expectations. Additionally, they work with mills around the country, ensuring shipping is as low as possible for their customers. If you're a distillery, brewery, or even doing this at home, Goldstone can assist you. Check them out at goldstonemill.com, call them at 217-254-6613, or check in via email at hello@goldstonemill.com. Last but not least is the ABV Barrel Shop. While we don't get to play in the allocated bourbon game because we aren't selling the other products you have to do to get those, we do have access via our friendships in the bourbon industry to some really cool stuff. Have you ever seen your favorite craft distiller selling some really cool limited offerings only in their gift shop? I'm talking things like the hazmat offering Distillery 291 did for their 10th anniversary, or Neely Family Distillery's Papaw's birthday barrel. They don't have enough of it to send it out to distributors, so they only sell it via their gift shop. Well, companies like Distillery 291 and Neely Family Distillery have agreed to sell us 2 or 3 cases of these offerings moving forward, meaning our store will have the access to some of the rarest whiskeys in the world. Way more difficult to come by than the allocated bourbon offerings with a national release. Yes, they will be extremely tough to come by, but if you're a customer of our store, you'll have a chance to get them. Get signed up for our email or text list over at abvbarrelshop.com so you don't miss out.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.